Hello everybody. It is Tiffany, aka Eprel, and I just want to welcome you to Tiffany's Introspection World. Thank you guys so much for even tuning in to this video. I want to say thank you to all the love and support that I have been getting on such an amazing accomplishment that I made on Friday, July 1st, 2022. Man, if you guys know me, yeah, you should already know that I dropped out at 17. I didn't know where my life was going. I was a teenager that did not care about school. I was 2 grades behind. I didn't feel like school was for me. I felt stupid. I felt dumb. And I believed all the things people said about me. I believed that I was retarded. I believed that I didn't learn at the same level as everybody else. I believed that no one cared about me. And this milestone right now, this major milestone, I cannot lie. I truly cannot lie that it has been an emotional roller coaster with getting my GED. 12 years ago, I was 17 years old. I didn't know where life was going to take me. I just knew that I was rebellious. I was hurt. I was dealing with a lot of family drama, and I did not believe that I was going to make it. I was dealing with depression. I was dealing with, a lot of things around me, and school was the last thing on my mind. So when I came to my mother and I told her, like, listen, I want to drop out. I think it's the best thing that I could do at the time. And my mother just rolled with it. I think that was the best thing for me. And at that time I was afraid. I didn't know. I didn't know anything about GED, didn't know anything about school, but I had to I had dreams, I had goals, I had things that I knew I wanted to do. And if I knew I wanted to do those things, I had to get an education, even though I did not want one. So I have some major news to let you guys know. I am officially a high school graduate. After 12 years, it has not been easy, y'all. It has been a lot of crying, a lot of fighting, a lot of stopping and going, a lot of just giving up, a lot of feeling like giving up, a lot of days I didn't want to live. I didn't feel like my dreams was manifesting enough for me and fast enough. And I kind of lost my faith in myself, faith in God. And I had to realize that everything comes at an appointed time. 12 years ago, I never even knew half of the things that I know now. I'm digging deeper into myself. I'm 29 now, so I never thought when I dropped out at 17 that at 29 years old, God was going to make me, this girl who didn't care about school, who took things so personal, who just had a depression problem. I had a focusing problem. I had all these things going on within myself. And I never thought in a million years that me, 29, just getting my GED, like I never thought that in a million years. And that's why I want to come to you guys with the real. Not all this stuff that you see, how to get your GED fast, how to get your GED online in less than 6 months. That's not what you're going to get here. You're going to get the grit. You're going to get the grind, and you're going to get the emotional roller coaster, because that's what it is when you get your GED. Tell you a quick little story. So when I dropped out in 2010, by 2011, I had enrolled into GED for the first time. That GED class did not really work for me. So by the age of 19, I ended up leaving that GED program, and I ended up going to Miami-Dade, where they had a GED section in their school. And I just remember having to take the bus. I didn't have a car, so I would have to take the bus to night school. And I just remember this lady. At the time, I was 23 by this time. And I just started, going more and really like throwing caution to the wind. And I just remember the lady, she kept looking at me and kept saying, ma'am. And I'm like, why is she calling me that? I was 23, but my hair was cut more shorter. So she just was like, what are you doing in here? And I said, well, I'm just trying to get my GED. Like, what do you think? You know, at that time, I'm more younger. So I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you don't need to be in this class. You need to get out of this class because what I'm teaching you is not going to be on the test. It's going to be stuff that is not even on the test. So you don't even need to be in here. So I was like, so you telling me I'm paying for this? I'm getting on the bus. I'm walking home. I'm doing all of this. And you're not even going to teach me what I need to be taught? So I just was thinking that in my head as she was talking. But then she threw some papers on the counter and she was like, look at that. And she showed me my scores. And she showed me, you know, my language arts, my science, my social studies, and then math. She said, now math is going to be more harder for you. I can see your scores are a little bit low, but I see you have the potential. And I must say, may God bless that woman, because if it wasn't for God bringing this woman into my life and telling me, like, get out of here, do it on your own, I really don't know if I would be here right now, you know, saying that I'm a high school graduate. When she told me that, I said, but I can't do this. I said, I don't know how to do the test. I'm not good with school. I just started making up all these excuses. And she was like, so what? You know, did you ever hear of process of elimination? Did you ever hear of reading? Just reading comprehension? And I was like, yeah, but you know, I'm not good at math. I always skipped math when I was in middle school. And, you know, I never went to any math class. I mean, I know basic stuff, you know, when it comes to math, but math was never going to be my favorite subject. I loved reading and writing. That's where I loved to really focus and study. So when she told me that, she said, sweetheart, just get out of here. This is a waste of your time. I was 23 at the time. And I just remember that was the last day that I went to her class. And I just went online and I started buying books. At the time I was working, so I started buying my own books on Amazon. It was like $10 a pop at the time. And this was in 2016. And I just remember saying, okay, well, I like reading and I like writing. So let me do the first subject first that is going to be easy. So I started off with language arts. That was October 29, 2016. And I passed it on the first go. Now, I was shocked at myself because I was like, really? Like me? I passed this? I mean, okay. And then things started happening in my life. And then 2017 came and went. And then in 2018, I chose to like really indulge myself in science. I was afraid of science, but I actually did it because I was like, okay, I don't like science. And I don't like math, and I felt like science and math go together. So I was like, okay, I don't know, but I just started really reading, really researching, using books, using videos, a lot of Bill Nye to do my science. And I just remember one day getting on the bus, going to go take the science test, and this was like January of 2018. And I swear I felt it. I was like, man, I felt that science test. Like that was my mindset on the bus going back home. And I remember just telling my mama, like, I can't do this, man. This stuff is so hard, man. I don't feel like I passed it. And then all of a sudden, like, the email came in and it said, you passed. And because I was still my worst enemy, I was like, okay, yeah, I passed it. Great. I tried my hand at social studies, and that was a roller coaster too, because I never did social studies. I never really cared for like American history. So I ended up going to the school and then failing the science. Felt very down because I felt like I wasted my time. I did this, but in reality, I didn't really study. In reality, I didn't really put my all into that test like I did science and language arts prior. Because I didn't do that, I knew I was going to fail it. And I wanted to be able to, just get this stuff over with. I had so much I was dealing with, and I didn't want that to be another burden. So I ended up failing. But then something in me, this little girl that lives in me that just would never let me quit, I ended up going back maybe a week or two later, and I ended up passing my social studies. That was in 2018. So I took one test in 2016 and two tests in 2018. 2021 comes, and here I am back at the door of math that I do not like, that I despise, that I can't do, that I'm afraid of. And I just started studying little things here. I was like all over the place. When it came to math, I was all over the place. Nobody came and knocked on my door and said, "Hey, Tiffany, do you want your GED? Okay, come with me. Let me go ahead and lay out the red carpet of study materials. This is what you do. This is exactly what's going to." No, nobody did that. Like, I had to really grind. I really had to sacrifice sleep, getting off and on the bus, doing a lot of different things to get to and from school, paying for all these books and materials and calculators and software programs. It was a lot that came into this 12-year journey. You understand? Like, it has been very long, and it's been about 6 to 7 years since I took my first test. It has been so emotional. It has been so many nights where I just wanted to give up on life, on myself, on thinking that I could ever be smart enough to do this thing called GED. And even though I did pass my language arts and I passed the science and the social studies, I knew that math was going to defeat me. I felt like, man, I don't know this stuff, and I don't have a tutor, and I don't have this. And I just remember April of last year, literally a week after my birthday, I took the math test. And no, I didn't really study like that. I just really looked at some things, jotted down some things, and of course I ended up failing it. So that was last year, and then I just started saying, you know what? I have to indulge myself in this. And I just remember, thinking to myself, how am I going to do this? I need to move on with my life. That's all I kept thinking. I need to move on with my life. I cannot do this. I need to move on with my life. And I would always go to my mother and tell her, I just can't do this. It's I felt it again. And everybody in my family knew, everything happened so late for me in life. So it's this is another burden. I'm trying to do things with my career and goals. And it's everything just keep getting in the way. And it's I kept losing faith. And it's I had to figure out a way. So after I failed my math test the first time, I kind of laid low for a few months because I was working and, just dealing with personal situations and trying to heal from that, trying to heal from my past. I just started indulging more into the math. I started buying more books, and then I came across different things and packets and stuff that I will be sharing with you guys so that you can see exactly what I used to pass my math and, the other subjects that I've taken. But I just started indulging. I mean, it got to the point where I was man, I was staying up all night, not sleeping, barely eating. I was not working because I felt like working would get in the way of me trying to get. It's the older I started to get, I was I gotta get it. It's something that's missing. I just said, you know what? I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna dust my shoulders off, and I'm gonna keep going. So I ended up purchasing a program from the GED.com website called the GED Plus. It comes with all 4 subjects, but because I already passed the first 3, all I had to do was pay for the mathematics. And it's an amazing, I'm talking about an amazing program, which I'll be talking about a little bit later on, because I want to give you guys a thorough review of every resource that has helped me. But I never thought in a million years that out of the sleepless nights, the crying, just looking out the window and just start crying, just looking at other people achieving their dreams and going for their dreams, and I would start crying or I would feel some type of way. all of that led me to July 1st. I never foresaw it. I never even imagined that July 1st would be the day that God said, okay, it's over. You don't have to cry anymore. You don't have to feel dumb anymore. You don't have to feel uneducated anymore. The doors are open. I went from literally being hopeless to limitless. That's how much I had to start believing in God and gaining my faith back. And I would always watch a lot of motivational videos like Steve Harvey and, you know, reading my Bible and different Bible scriptures and talking to my friends and my family and really indulging myself into something that's positive, something that is higher than myself. You know, even when I felt like, man, this is too hard, I can't do this stuff. Like, I'm not good at math. Maybe I am dumb. Maybe I am retarded. Maybe I am like, all of these things that people would say to me when I was in school and even out of school. But gaining my GED just literally 2 days ago really woke me up to say, like, no, I'm not dumb. I am smart, and all I have to do is get out of my own way. And that's what I want you guys to do. If you're looking at this video and you're struggling with your education, you're struggling to get your goals right, you're struggling to get your life right, to set up your future, I just want to say, I am the example of somebody who was their worst enemy, who didn't love themselves, that would look in the mirror and call myself ugly. I was dumb. I believed everything someone told me. And I'm here to tell you that you are beautiful. You are smart. You may learn a little bit slower than the next person, but we're all different human beings, right? We all learn different at different speeds. And I am definitely the example of things happening at an appointed time, because nothing in my life came very quick for me. I never had any handouts. I had to go out there and work. I didn't get a car until I was 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was taking the bus and driving other people's car. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really taught me anything. I had to go out there and teach myself. I had to go out there and grind. I had to go out there and get on the bus. I had to go out there and work. I had to do things so that I don't be another statistic of, oh, she's a black girl, she's uneducated. And I wanted to turn that around and say, no, I am a black woman. And yes, I may learn a little different than everybody else, but I'm capable of the same things that you are. With that being said, I am officially a high school graduate. And here is just the paper version of me achieving this. A huge milestone in my life. I can let you guys know right now that I am all cried out. I just remember after finishing my test, I just remember crying. I just remember crying in the car for like 15 minutes. I just kept telling myself, God, I did the best I can do. God, I did the best I can do. I need this to be over. It was literally like a monkey on my back for 12 years. And when I opened the email and it told me like, congratulations, you're a high school, I lost it. Like, I just completely lost it. So that tells you that this has really been a bittersweet experience. For me to even see this is just a piece of paper. I'm gonna actually wait until my GED advisor mails me out the physical copy, but I wanted to show you guys that it is real. All right. And that I did not pay somebody to do this for me. I did not go out and just get on the internet and on no, this is strictly from the GED.com website. This is strictly from the people who made the actual GED test. I worked for this. Anything is possible. And what's crazy is that I had this GED on my vision board for so long, and it finally came true. So what I want to do now, I want you guys to stick around, because I will be going over all the resources, And also, what is next for me? What is next for me? What do I want to do? What is Tiffany going to be doing next? I love you guys. Stay tuned to my next video. Bye, y'all.